the press to have their own system,
obviously.
yes, so they can project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Apollo. And we will have Laban Cliff on Zero in the next few minutes. He will be speaking to his guest, the CEO, I think, from Sunland. Laban is already in studio. We will talk to him a little bit later on. But first, let's talk to Brenda. Brenda is at the Ruai sewage treatment plant. Brenda, good morning. It's still morning, yes? Tell us what's happening in Ruai.
Well, Ken, we're here at the Ruai sewage treatment plant in Nairobi, where we are on a fact-finding tour in the company of the Water Resources Authority. They've decided to come to this place because this is one of the places that all the waste, solid and liquid from the city is channeled here for treatment and eventual discharge into the Nairobi River. Nairobi River really is their focus of this fact-finding trip. The Water Resources Authority is about to embark on another attempt at cleaning and rehabilitating and restoring the Nairobi River. So this is one of the key areas that they have to visit and see just what amount of waste is treated here and goes back into the river. I am now joined by the CEO of that authority, Mr. Mohamed Sheria, who will just tell us exactly why it is important for them to start their fact-finding mission here.
Thank you very much. As you are aware that, or as you are seeing that where we are is now the main collection of Nairobi sewerage waste. This waste comes from the water supply. It comes also from the
right. A small challenge with
directly to Nairobi.
Or a small challenge with Brenda's connection there. As soon as we have Brenda back, she's at the right sewerage treatment plant, and the focus, as she mentioned, is to clean Nairobi River. Let's go back to Brenda.
The main aim here is the Water Resources Authority is planning to start now cleaning up of Nairobi River. Before we do that, we want to know exactly what type of waste, what type of effluent is going out to the river. That's our aim. And from here, we'll go and see exactly the point where this water or this waste is going out to the Nairobi River. Yeah.
This is not exactly the first time that an attempt has been made to up until 2009. So what is it that you are hoping to do differently that will perhaps be more effective than what was done in the past?
Yeah, it's true. What you are saying is true. There are a number of times that we have tried. The one major one was the one which was done by late Honorable Muchoki. Number of other stakeholders tried, but the problem that what we want to address today is the sustainability, because we want to make sure that once we clean this river, we will also train the community. We are going to involve all the stakeholders. At least now everybody will have his own to take responsibility. So that's why once we do this time, we want to make sure that it is sustainable. And according to the Water Resources Authority, we have what we call Water Resources Users Associations, which are now at the village level, at the ground level, which represent us now. So those are now the communities that we are going to sensitize them, we are going to train them, we are going to work with them very closely to make sure that whatever we are going to do now, this time, is going to be sustainable. We are also going to involve all other stakeholders, like development partners. Today we are here with the USAID representative who all came all the way from America to go and see whatever we are doing here. We have also other partners. We are sharing with other partners. So at least we want to go, all of us, in the same direction to have a sustainable Nairobi River. Then after that, after Nairobi River, we want to move also to other rivers like Gong River. And generally, at the end of the day, we want to clean the other river. So it's an exercise that we have started. We are trying to get funding from the government and from the other development partners. Hopefully, Nairobi River now is our pilot project. Once we do that, I think we can now move to other projects. But the point here is we want to sensitize the community, we want to involve the community, we want to involve all the stakeholders, so at least at the end of the day we have a sustainable project. That's what we are going to do.
for the past efforts, we've seen the challenge largely being dealing with the people who live close to the river banks. How do you intend to address this issue? Because you know quite a large number of the population in Nairobi particularly live. How will you address this issue?
This is a long-term plan. We want to do this project 5 to 10 years. And as I said, the best way to do this job like this, or the best way now to involve the community, is to educate them. We tell them the importance of this river. This is where they normally get water. Without this river, they cannot survive. And our main target is now to train and sensitize the community, so at least now they understand exactly what role it is. We can also do all other issues that we can do, because the rowers will continuously working with us. So at least now they know exactly what is happening. We'll know exactly who are the people who are discharging the waste to the river. What are they doing? How are they doing it? We're also ready to talk to them. Industries like now we are in Nairobi Water Company. So at least we create that awareness. So if we do that, as we go on, I think I'm sure we'll succeed. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bwana CEO. We've been speaking to the CEO of the Water Resources Authority, giving us just what they expect to achieve in this project. They're saying that it will take between 5 to 15 years to ensure that Nairobi River is clean, and then they will move on to the other rivers, Ngong, and eventually ensure that this stream going all the way up, when it eventually discharged into the Indian Ocean, as it usually does, it will be clean water, water that can actually be used safely, either for domestic, industrial, or other uses. So this is what we've been doing with them here today, and we're still staying with them. From here, they will be heading to Dandora Dam site, where there's an even more direct discharge of affluent into the river, and perhaps they will try and see what they can do to tell the people there not to do that, and just try and address that issue, and in the long run restore and rehabilitate Nairobi River to its lost glory. Back to you, Ken.
Right, Brenda, it's a good initiative, and noting that they're involving the community. So this time round, they might succeed. John Michuki, the late, tried, and he succeeded, but they reverted back to the old ways, and that's the reason why this initiative is important. Thank you, Brenda, and all the best as you head to Dandora. Back to studio, the investment economist at Sanlam Investment, Arthur Camp, is in the country, and Laban Cliff Onsero will be speaking to him next. Laban?
Thank you very much, Ken. Yes, indeed, it's a privilege to have Arthur Camp in studio with us on a tight schedule and his visit to Kenya. Of course, we'll be looking at what brought him here, matters to do with the pre-election outlook, especially for the country as we head to the polls. But before we get to Arthur Camp, here's what to expect on your copy of today's Business Daily. Of course, we begin with the front page where we have the International Monetary Fund, that's IMF, having warned the fast growth of the Islamic Bank in Kenya. You should see that on your screens right now. Noting that it is without adequate protection of investors, and IMF says that prudential guidelines are not applied adequately. That's in Sharia banking, that's as opposed to other conventional banks. Of course, just raising a red flag on that. That's the current IMF listing. And in your economy and politics segment, 9 terminals have been earmarked as inter-county train stops. That's between Nairobi and Mombasa. That is in towns such as Voi, Titonde, and Emali. And of course, on your corporate segment, that's the National Environmental Authority, NEMA, saying that the plastic carrier bags deadline for August 28th will take effect, and will have started engaging the county officials for the rollout. And a lot more, especially last one on the money markets, because I want to engage Arthur on that, is on looking at the banks still maintain that the interest rate cap, and that has been detrimental to the green financing, particularly